How's it going, James?
Good, how are you doing?
Nice to finally meet you, man. All right, we're going to get started here. So how long have you been working as a studio engineer?
Well, actually, I have previous experience recording my own vocals for about 5 years at my home studio, but I've been professionally recording for about 3 years.
Okay, 3 years you said?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so in the studio, there's often a lot of different personalities and loud opinions in the room. How do you say that you would go about handling all the background noise and the talking while also remaining focused on the mix?
Well, actually, at Soccer Studio, when I was training, I had to spend a lot of time mixing with a lot of people in the room, and this really just taught me to stay focused and on track while not coming off cold. Let them know that I'm interested in their music.
Okay, great. Okay, now, so aside from the job, obviously, what type of role does music play in your everyday life?
Well, I pretty much listen to music all the time, whether I'm at the gym or on the way to work in the car, sharing a new song with some friends.
Yeah.
I really feel like my love of music would help me in sessions because it's something I'm very passionate about in general.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is a little broad question, but where do you see yourself in 5 years, James?
In 5 years, at the rate that I'm at right now, I see myself probably becoming the main engineer at a big studio like this one.
Okay, wow, awesome. All right, would you mind taking me through your typical routine and workflow throughout like a regular session?
Yeah, well, so first, I start off, I load up the track and I find the tempo. And then I get the artist in the booth and I record him. Make sure he's happy with all of his vocals before we get into the mixing things.
Yeah.
And once I start mixing, simple EQ to start off and then some compression. I usually follow that up with multiple stems with reverb or active EQs, a variety of other plugins that I use just to get a sound that I'm satisfied with.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a couple more specific questions, if you don't mind, about the mixing process itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you, let me rephrase that. How do you go about changing the tempo of an instrumental to the artist's needs? So if the artist says, I want the beat faster or slower, how do you go about doing that?
So after we've already recorded?
Yes.
So on the main vocal track, I would switch from samples to ticks, and I'd select polyphonic. And then I'd open up a transport window and set the tempo of the track, which will now be bound to the tempo.
Correct. Okay, great. So now another specific one. When you're EQing the main vocal track, right, which frequency range is known for containing the bite and the distance and the heaviness of a vocal?
That would be 1K. That's the frequency range that contains the power and the distance from the vocal. Meaning if you cut that frequency, the vocal will sound further away, and vice versa.
Great. All right, I just got 3 more for you here. So when you're tracking your vocal, do you find yourself paying more attention to the quality of the audio itself as your artist is recording, or are you more focused on whether he's happy and comfortable, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, actually, something that I pride myself on is my ability to keep an eye on the artist while he's recording and make sure that he's comfortable in there, but also know what I'm working on, and I can make him sound good while he's recording. So really, I'd say I pay an even amount of attention to both.
Okay, awesome. So James, tell me about a time where you have successfully dissolved a conflict in a work setting.
Last year there was this one time I had an artist and he scheduled a session for about 3 hours. And when the end of the session came around, he was telling me that he wasn't satisfied with the mix. He wanted more done to it. When he had a full 2 hours to tell me about that, and he waited until the end. And so, inside I was a little frustrated, but I kind of kept my composure and I just told him the session was scheduled for 3 hours and unfortunately now I have to end it.
Yeah.
But let's find another day when you can come back and we can get the work done.
Good. Okay, and this is going to be the last one, then we're good here. What leadership skills do you say you rely on most at work?
I would say I rely on my initiative to proactively communicate with both my bosses and my clients. And, my consistency is also something I've always prided myself on, whether that's showing up 10 minutes early or providing a quality mix every single time. And also confidence is another big leadership skill. You know, it allows me to handle the noise in the background
Yeah.
while also
Yeah.
remaining focused on the session and the mixing.
Awesome. Okay, James. Well, I've got another guy coming in. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, good talking
I
to you.
appreciate it very much.
Appreciate the opportunity.
We'll be in touch soon.